All right, coming up next, it's a UFC heavyweight showdown. All right, so here he is, one of the better offensive takedown guys we have in the UFC, DC. And if anyone is well-equipped to speak to this, it is you. The opponent knows what's coming. At least to this point in the UFC, no one's been able to stop him.
He just has to keep him away, because the moment this guy gets close enough to either grab a leg or make body contact, now you're in trouble. He has a knowledge and an understanding of position from a lifetime of just all grappling, judo, wrestling, sambo. He does it all, and he has just so many ways to get you to the floor. This guy once told me that if you can get your leg, he's going to finish. Because he's going to give you so many things to think about, you will not be able to process and keep up with him, and eventually you're on the mat. It's unbelievable to watch him apply that knowledge to the mixed martial arts fight. And as the wrestlers say, this is not a guy you want anywhere near your bracket. No, you don't want him in the bracket.
All right, so here he is, Khabib Nurmagomedov. His future, in all likelihood, is in the UFC Hall of Fame, but his present is this fight right now, once again taking on a fellow top 10, 155-pound fighter.
And when you've done everything that Khabib has done, that's all you see, is the best the business has to offer. And after the McGregor fight, his star shined more brightly than he ever could have imagined. I know how humble Khabib is. I know how much he loves to live in privacy. I understand that, but when you beat Conor McGregor in the way that he did, he became an international icon, and it shows as you watch him in his pursuits of just opportunities and everything. But nothing is available to Khabib if he does not take care of business in this octagon. And every time he steps foot there, he does exactly that. One of the most dominant fighters the UFC has ever seen.
Going into that Conor McGregor fight, UFC 229, October of 2018, had about 4 million Instagram followers. How about 15 million? You got some catching up to do.
I mean, the next day, he was up to 10. It was unbelievable. That's what happens when you fight Conor McGregor, and you beat him.
Most lightweights say, top to bottom, the toughest matchup for them in this division is Khabib Nurmagomedov. We'll see how it goes for him here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a wrestler, holding a professional record of 5 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 265 pounds. Fighting out of Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC heavyweight champion, Lesnar! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a grappler, holding a professional record of 28 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of the Republic of Dagestan, Russia, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Lavigne.
The veteran Yves Lavigne draws the assignment here.
You ready?
All right, so here we go with round 1, grappler versus grappler. This was probably the wrong week for me to skip combat sambo class. What are your expectations for this one?
I expect these guys to come together, man. I expect them to come together, and we're going to see some fantastic throws, and not only just fantastic throws, but just jockeying for position. Even though it may not look that these guys are doing much, the little details in the underhooks, in the clinches, in the foot position, head position, is going to be very interesting to watch.
Well, there are few things more fun to watch in mixed martial arts than these type of transitions and scrambles on the ground.
High-level grappling can really be entertaining.
Back mount now. Nurmagomedov's trying for a submission here. And he's out. under 3 minutes now to go in the round. Oh, nice job using his strength there to posture up. We'll see what he can do now.
He's going to start looking to land big shots from the top.
Oh, big combination of ground and pound strikes here, DC. This could be the beginning of the end.
I mean, you got to be very careful when you take these big ground and pound strikes. You need a controlled posture on the bottom, and if you're the top guy, the guy that's looking to finish, continue to gain posture, rain down big strikes on your opponent.
Well, the ground and pound is there once again. Strong work here by Nurmagomedov. Love watching this guy move on the ground. Another nice transition there.
Such a high-level grappler. You don't see that very often.
All right, north-south position now. We'll see who transitions first. Nurmagomedov's trying to lock up on a submission now. Nicely done. All right, good movement by him here on the ground. He really is a master of these transitions.
He is a master of movement on the ground. You never know where he's going to be.
Outstanding ground and pound here. Somewhat of a lost art in MMA, at least in terms of making sure that every strike counts. Not an issue for him.
He's making every single one of them count. He is not pity-patting. He's not touching. Every punch that lands, he wants you to feel it.
Oh, nice job to reverse position on the ground.
It was bad, but now it's not so bad. What a fantastic sweep.
All right, let's take a look back at some of the highlights, DC. A lot of leg kicks for good measure in that round.
So close. Are you ready? You ready?
All right, here we go with round two. Well, you saw the tail of the tape. He has a reach advantage and made good use of it there with that punch. Nurmagomedov's punch to the body is blocked, so no damage done there. All right, he closes the distance, gets the single collar tie. Oh, he's got it going now. Nice connection there, DC.
Another punch lands. Oh, nice jab.
Oh, tagged him with the uppercut. Now he gets in more dominant position with the underhook.
He is going to start to drive knees over and over. You got to be careful here. You got to move.
Well, you start to really worry about the wrestling, and there's that left hand from Khabib.
Underrated. I mean, it's a very underrated part of his game. His ability to stand and strike with anybody in the UFC. Big punch lands over the top. How's he going to follow
And potentially a critical takedown here. Oh, is he an active pursuer of the submission?
Oh, he's got a choke.
Then he's out. We have crossed the midpoint of this one. All right, side control now, DC. You know he's in his element on the ground. A lot of tricks up his sleeve.
A lot of tricks.
Just over 2 minutes now to go. All right, feet on the hips here.
Trying to recover full guard there.
Reversal here, DC.
What a way to switch the position. Fantastic movement by the bottom fighter.
Well, working pretty effectively from the top here. Nice ground and pound by Nurmagomedov. Left eye starting to shut a little bit. That bears watching. I mean, how many can he take? All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent. You gotta be careful playing around for too long here on the ground with this guy.
Now into his mount.
Good movement by him here, transitioning very well on the ground tonight.
Step for step, he's staying with his opponent in every transition.
Nurmagomedov ground ground and pound from half guard. He is making these shots count. And that's the end of round number 2. All right, a lot of highlights from which to choose over those previous 5 minutes, DC. Let's take a look at the replay. All right, here we go as our next round gets underway. His striking was money in that previous round. Got to think he'll pick up where he left off.
All about the money. It was greenbacks, cash, dollar bills, y'all. Every single strike he landed was on point, it was accurate, and it was heavy. Every time he let loose, he was able to land to great effect. Big, powerful punch land. Now we get back to range.
All right, so another swing and a miss, and I'd imagine if your gas tank is this low, you gotta find times to try to preserve that energy and get yourself back to a place where you can actually dole out some damage.
Yeah, you gotta get out to space, find places to rest and recover. Get against the octagon, go to the clinch, find ways to just recover so that when you have that next explosion, it actually has some meaning to it.
That's a pretty good right hand there by your teammate, Khabib Manhandles.
You're so worried about the wrestling that when the hands come, you're not expecting it. And Khabib lands early and he lands off.
Oh, he landed another great shot to the body there. Really starting to connect at a high percentage now in the latter stages of this fight. Less than 3 minutes to go in this third and final round. Well, you see all the grappling repetitions here. Just beautiful movement, seamless transition.
He jumps on a headlock. We call this in wrestling just a headlock. And if you're not careful, you can get stuck in an arm triangle. Watch triangle, watch triangle. There he is. He's moving to the finishing position. Now.
And this might just be a matter of time. Wow. All right, right into side control here, DC. Biggest difference between half guard and side control?
Well, side control to me feels like a little bit less control because now my legs aren't really doing anything anymore. Now I'm controlling you with my upper body. So I've got to be very, very aware. It's still advantageous, but it just seems a little more free-flowing than having something like a half guard.
Oh, he's got the ground and pound going now.
He's putting him in exactly the positions he needs to be in right now. He's able to relax here. And he understands, being a veteran of so many fights, that as long as he's on top, he's winning. He feels like he's winning here.
Oh, that is some severe swelling. I hate to speculate, not a doctor, but you might be staring at a fractured orbital there. And they both stand up. Whoa! The official decision is now in. It resides with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores this contest 28-28. Judge 2 scores it 29-26, Nurmagomedov. And Judge 3 scores it 29-26. For the winner by majority decision, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
All right, so a close fight. That's certainly the way we saw it, but ultimately he gets his hand raised by majority decision. Third judge had it a draw. 2 others thought he did enough to win.
And I thought it was a draw, too. I thought it was an even fight, but judge number 2 thought he did just a little bit more than his opponent, just put him a little bit ahead of him and allowed him to get the decision.